What it do? Thank you. You could be anywhere in the known universe, but you chose to be here with your boy. I want to thank everybody for tapping in and listening to another edition of Live on Sunday. If you do not know who I am, I go by the name King Crowder. I am here to give you information, detailed, and most importantly, talk about the things they make us miss. If you are new here, share the live, comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get started. But first off, like I do every Sunday, I like to give you game. Number one, the book of the week. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. A lot of us have felt hurt, pain, fear, indecision, anger, any type of obstacle that you felt of emotion-wise that you have not been taught how to process or how to deal with it. This is a phenomenal read. The reason why I like to recommend it, because a lot of times we look at anger and fear as a bad thing instead of using it like an emotion to our benefit. Please add it to your library if you've never gotten it. Phenomenal read. Add it to your library. Number two, things I wish your parents would have taught us by your boy. In the book thing, make sure you add it to your library. A phenomenal read. The rest of my new work, I'm coming out this week. It's been a busy week for your boy, man. Getting everything ready for the baby shower, trying to juggle this, being life, being a brother, being the son, being a father, all of those things, being a man with your late, all of it. But the number one thing we got to talk about is why the FBA gatekeeping is actually working. Remember, all growing up, if you like me, y'all, we have had people, other ethnicities, people infiltrate our spaces, and we never ask why and why they continue to allow those things to happen. But the beautiful part about us having the delineation movement, us having our love era, us having that conversation, we are making sure we ask questions up front. And the reason why I wanted to hit on this point, because it stuck to me, because number one, y'all, if you haven't heard this week, if you do not know who this gentleman is on the thumbnail, his name is Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow is like Post Malone and others, Miley Cyrus, Pink, others, on and on and on. And what they do, they get inside primarily FBA spaces. And what we do, because we are in inviting people, we'll allow them to come in because we support you. We support the talent over anything. So they will come on to us, right, y'all? Use our type of swag, our type of energy. We blow them up. They go up, and then they disrespect you. Oh, I love how this energy was quiet but deadly. Jack Harlow released an album, Neo Soul, released an album about our emotion, our movements, and our cultural references. And as much bootlicking, Samboing, and other people tried to hype this brother up, the proof was in the pudding. It reads, Jack Harlow, first week of sales for Monica. I'm going to give you that word and what it means. So less than 2K. King Carter, why are you bringing this up? Why is this relevant? Why is this important? Because, ladies and gentlemen, you must keep the stats on what we're working on. And right here is another moment of people trying to re-enter a space, ethnically colonize a space, trying to come in, crowbar themselves in, go inside of our movements and legacy. And right now, we saying, nah, Jack Harlow. You can't be neo soul. You can't be R&B sound. Nah, Jack Harlow. You can't just jack the swag or say different things like that. And if you did not know, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to pay attention to the joke about the movie or the album he called himself. Pay attention.
Ask him about the name of the album, Monica, right? Which my nigga. Then they ask him about the name of the album, Monica, right? Which everyone's saying it's really my nigga.
What? Yes. Did you know that? Did you know it was a little word going around about what the word Monica means in other spaces? This is why I want you to always keep up on what's going on, staying abreast of when you hearing words, sayings, and understanding. And I also want you to have a cultural reference and understanding about things that's happening right now. I'm gonna keep letting it play.
I like this joke because it makes white people uncomfortable. Like,
Thank Monica.
Thank you.
Pay attention.
Thanks, my friend.
You never heard this? So I guess there was a comedian, a white comedian who's not from America, who thought his friends were saying Monica forever and realized they were saying my nigga. So when you slow it down, it's like a joke.
Oh, guys.
So no, everybody is saying this. Are they not? Are they not? Are they not? You haven't heard this? Oh, this is.
You know the reason why it's kind of shocking to me? We just had another rapper get on here. Good evening, y'all. I appreciate y'all too. Tap in. I appreciate your work. Thank you, KMG. Good evening. I remember that too, right? I remember that. Let's keep chopping it up. But listen, y'all. This was an active jokes going on in certain spaces in certain areas. People were actually out laughing about what Jack Harlow released his album, trying to enter the new old soul wave and naming it this way.
The big thing online.
It was really weird because I was the only white guy there. And everybody called me the N-word, but I didn't understand what they were saying, right?
You know the reason why I wanted to show that video to start off with? You have other people from other cultures. That guy, I believe, was from Australia, the UK, saying that people get so freely with slurs. That's what they are, y'all. That we say it among other people, not the ethnic group. Why does the Jack Harlow thing matter? It matters because this is one of the first times that nobody's talking about that we're actually saying you cannot have access to this music. I know they're going to try to flip it and say, Ken Crowder, you're overthinking it. You're overshooting it. Maybe you're overstepping what it means. No, sir. What it means is that everybody must be put in perspective when you're dealing with Black culture. Black culture is not something you can use up. Black Americans are not something you can use as a prop. Black Americans are not something that can be used as just profitable. Look at Uncle Walter with the Destination Smokehouse. Look at Jack Harlow with his album. And also look at the other WAP artists using that slur, using the white ninja tone. Why is this important? Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to take notice of cultural shifts. People really do try to get online and will tell you that delineation, FBA, all that terminology means something bad, when in actuality, it is an overcorrection to how you are currently being treated. You are being treated A, and I'm responding with B. You have constantly told me A, now B, and the result is equaling C. These type of conversations are showing me that the young foundations are getting it. I work with them. I be with them. I talk to them. I check in with our younger people, especially about the love era, the delineation movement, and other things we got going on. But I want y'all to pay attention that the word is actually sticking. How do I know that's so strong? Some artists from that era, who has appeared as hot, got a wake-up call, as well as radio personalities, as well as hip-hop influencers, as well as other people who do not represent what we mean about, what I focus on, and what the foundation is heading towards. The biggest wake-up call to me is another reason that we are seeing a shakeup. And if you don't know, y'all, shout out to the boot, the state of Louisiana. If you from the boot, I don't know if you saw this article this week that Essence is foregone as cultural partnership at local stockholders and saying that we need to tailor-made our entertainment to what we do. Huh? Did you hear what I said? Let's read it again. Essence Ventures of the Global Partnership at Lego Stakeholder Luncheon going over what the Essence Festival Ventures will be having and how they will be collaborating with Black culture. The reason why I want you to be skeptical of these type of articles and these references, shout out to y'all. It's about time. You peep that hat to bet. I don't know what you're saying, brother. 30K, 30, congrats, 30K FBA fam. Congratulate to y'all, too, y'all. It's all about that. We are, absolutely, man. But I want y'all to pay attention. Let's keep cooking. Facts. Let's keep cooking. This article summarizes how Louisiana and what the culture is standing for. But it was a creator online. I know he doesn't represent our views, brother, but he's still FBA. And I want y'all to pay attention to how grimy they were moving down the Essence Fest. Fair use.
This is a temporary restraining order issued in New Orleans on behalf of Essence Magazine that stopped Black business owners from making money during Essence Fest. Let me explain. This is Tamika and Kim. They own Lit Diaries in Atlanta. They were putting on an event in partnership with Baldwin and Company, who's owned by a brother named DJ in New Orleans, for Essence.
He is speaking about all local Black business owners in New Orleans. Local Black business owners during Essence time have, like rightfully so, y'all, have other things going on in the city. If you've never been to the city of New Orleans is a coastal city in the heart of the southern Louisiana. Beautiful location. He is speaking about how other Black businesses were affected by those trying to run Essence Fest.
This weekend for authors in New Orleans. Let me make a long story short. So Essence decides that they find out about this event that's happening at Baldwin and Company. They send a cease and desist letter. The parties involved respond to this letter to make it clear to Essence that we're not trying to copy anything that you guys are doing. There's no branding associated. We're independent. We're on private property. All of these things. Essence gets that letter. They still file an order with the courts. 7:30 the morning of the event, they get an order from the court that says that they cannot have their event the day of the event, and it's canceled. They can't have their event.
Did you catch that? Other people were at this venue attempting to have a book signing in the local New Orleans area, and the Essence Festival, the people that ran it, that bought it from the original crew, decide to put more of a cease and desist letter on this type of business. Insane. I'm glad y'all remember that. Somehow we see more white privilege. Facts. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it cooking.
Yeah, because the courts have said that this Black business, these two Black women, this Black-owned bookstore in New Orleans can't have their event, and Essence is the reason. The city council president of New Orleans issued this statement, though. Council President J.P. Morrell says, my office is aware that an event planned by a local business on private property during Essence Fest was forced to shut down due to an alleged violation of the Clean Zone Ordinance. It is completely inappropriate for any large-scale event visiting the city of New Orleans to negatively impact our local businesses with something akin to a non-compete clause. It is especially concerning that the canceled event was organized by a Black-owned business and would have showcased Black female authors on a weekend that is supposed to be dedicated to Black culture. It was never the...
We have to understand that a lot of them do not view themselves as Black culture. As somebody that comes from a freedom town that was taught that we are all Black, y'all, hear me and hear me well. A lot of people that are non-FBAs and come from immigrant background do not view themselves as Black. If you've never heard it, if you're unaware of it, do not be shocked. Do not be unaware. It is up to you to update your information, to update what is going on and what is happening in the real world. And I agree, this is crazy to shut down a Black film festival, book festival, when you know it will drive people to your audience. Think about how crazy that is, y'all. I'm having a big event in a city. I know a young Black woman is having another event and I shut it down. That is not of our cultural lineage. That's not how we move. But I want you to understand what you hear and what you see in real time.
Intent of the council for any ordinance, much less the Clean Zone Ordinance, to impact private businesses hosting private events that happen to coincide with the timing of Essence Fest. Here's my truth. The Black women who are a part of creating this event, as well as DJ, the business owner in New Orleans, are people who I have an admiration and respect for because they do tremendous work for our community. It is wholly disappointing that Essence would file.
Can we stop calling it Essence and we call the people that bought this event trying to change what it is? We'll keep calling it Essence like we haven't talked about what the root issue is. The root issue is the investors that are non-FBAs have tried to destabilize, alter, change what has already been happening in the fabric of that state and that location. The people that did that janky business let you know how they feel. Think about it. I send a cease and desist the day of your event. That is some shady. I don't care how you look about it. We use the word, oh, it was no. You were doing that deliberately. And let's call it for what it is. Let's stop being nervous. Let's stop being scared. Let's not be transparent That is not of the foundation's culture. Speak directly to me. Directly speaking, that was a shady act done to a local small business in that area. And it was bad.
Such a document to stop black folks from making money in New Orleans while you're a guest in our city. As great of a guest as you are, you're still...
Everybody that comes into your home, y'all, is not a guest. Some people ain't got no damn manners. Some people don't got no sophistication or understanding, and you have to see the signs and move accordingly. I don't want us to get mad at it. I want you to see these signs and moving forward, you handle it the same way. A lot of times we let subtle disrespect slide. I don't believe we should let it slide. I don't believe we should let it fester. I believe we should check it early on. And this Essence debacle on what it was nothing short of that.
Coming here, and I'm gonna be honest with you, as big of a show as Essence is, to say that you're worried about a small event at a bookstore and filing documents to stop it, it's really unfortunate. And as a guardian of black people and a guardian of the people of this state, I feel it's my obligation to say, y'all need to rectify this. You need to reach out to these.
It's not a guardian. It's not none of that, y'all. When people show you who they are, you believe them. Let's not sugarcoat it. You did it deliberately to be offensive. They don't want to make the money. Facts. Example of privilege. I'm telling y'all, pathetic, festering. You are absolutely right, y'all. They're grimy. Facts is grimy. They tried to sue my mom and pops for real. They trying to sue mom and daddy. I am so sorry, man. I am so sorry. They will fail. They already been scamming my daughter. Scamming, man. See, look. Can we stop calling it scamming, y'all? Remember, we keep it 100 here. We call it theft. You a damn thief. We don't use the word scamming. We call it what it is. You are stealing from me. But I want y'all to know why is it so important, y'all. Y'all know one of my biggest influence, who on my wall like my father, is the great eternal ancestor Malcolm X. And Malcolm X said something. There's nothing more devastating than a colonized mind, no matter if they're melanated or not. Remember, y'all, we are living in an era where we have to understand, even though they may look like you, appear like you, if mentally you are not aligned with that individual, they will deliberately undermine you. It is no point in trying to change, in trying to sway, in trying to deter. We use the influence on our babies, on the people that could possibly be changed. But if spiritually you are not aligned with what I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to go, I will not waste any energy with you. I'm going to address you man to man, forehead to forehead, chest to chest, nose to nose, of course. But along with me addressing you, I'm going to move and treat you like a hostile person you are. And we are seeing these tactics over and over and over again. But the positive side of it is that you cannot just infiltrate our spaces any longer. There are guardrails up. There are questions being asked. There's a rule book you have to follow. There's a bit of respect that is guaranteed and must be given. There's no more, I'm going to treat you, do you, and give it to you any type of way. No, sir. Just like other people, right now, in the love era, we are putting that same energy, and it is good. It is great. It is needed, and I am so proud of us for making it happen. But as we continue to make that progress, as we continue to enforce these new, true, and bit up boundaries, what I want you to do moving forward, y'all, it is your job to spread the message to our babies, our youngins, our youth, our YNs, our young ladies, hearing that, infiltrating, making sure their spirits get lit up and the self-love part for them is already modeled. We will see this move over and over and over again. And as we continue to go about, as we do as every live on Sunday, and we take a deep dive into what happens when we support ourselves first, we start to see the fruits of our labor start to happen. If you do not know, y'all, shout out to Michael B. Jordan. You know the reason why I love his Oscar and his reward for a second? The reason why, y'all, he wasn't somebody highly taught at a young age. He wasn't somebody that was given the best roles. If you don't remember, he was Wallace from The Wire, a young kid who saw a murder, who saw PTSD, who saw how it affected them. He played the role. He perfected it. He carried himself the right way. He loves his mother. He loves his father. He is a great role model, and he stands on lineage business. You know the reason why I love it? He looks, he sounds, and he plays the roles of an FBA brother. And what he did, what he showed to the highest level, you don't have to code switch. You don't have to change. You don't have to alter. You can still be the nerdy guy, even though I never thought that was him, but you can be a black male. You don't have to sell out. You don't have to be different. You don't have to change. We saw it with Denzel, right? We're not going to disrespect the great Denzel. We saw it with Will, too, in a way. But Michael B. Jordan is the younger version of it. And it hits different because you have to understand the strong spiritual essence and energy he's had with his past few films. He's had with his past few films. All of them have been pro-black. What do you mean, King Crowder? You saying pro-black like he didn't have a movie that represented something else and that could be taken a certain way? You want me to prove it? I learned something today that most people don't know is that when we hear those type of words and what they mean for everybody has a different spin on and energy to it. But moving forward, we will all be aligned. We will all see what will happen, and we will all have the strong benefits to it. Next up on today on Live on Sunday, Shed Alive, y'all. It's an artist, y'all, known as Little Russell, man. I'm going to show a picture of the brother. He did something that was strange this week, right? We'll say that. But I like to give everybody chances, right? And what Little Russell did this week, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've seen him, but I'm going to go ahead and try to show this brother's face. I definitely think the brother is incredibly talented. I definitely think his art and what he stood for deserves to get a pass in a way. But he made a remark this week, right? And he tried to pander. Let's keep it 1,000. He tried to pander. He tried to pander and said, theft. Facts, we got to call it theft. Stole. That's right. Essence stole from my daughter. Thank you, mama, for checking that. I want my we're going to get it. We're going to get it. But let's keep cooking. He said that God is heaven sent. I'm going to quote the words. I'm not going to play the music. Kanye's heaven sent. Blah, blah is heaven sent. Blah, blah is heaven sent. He said something that was just dumb. What I want young brothers to understand something right quick is I like to speak to this. No matter what they say, you will always be judged harshly. No matter what you say, no matter what you meant to say, no matter what you chose to speak on, no matter what you choose to play and move in a certain direction, your words will always land harder. My opinion, allow the art and the work to speak for you. But I will say, Lil Russell, you have to rebrand yourself. You are the California guy. You are the Bay Area legend. I want to see you broaden yourself. As you continue to blossom and grow, bruh, you have to stop being so damn defensive. When somebody points out something wrong you did, you need to just say, my fault, bruh. My bad. Came out wrong. That wasn't the message. But doubling down, tripling down, saying you didn't misspeak, saying I know and I can handle criticism, then removing your social media, it makes you come across as inauthentic. It makes you come across as a gimmick. I don't think you are. I think you a solid brother. I think you a brother that has really built himself up from rags to riches, who has an incredible story, which I like. But when something bad happens, and you a man, you cannot run from it. You got to stand 10 toes down. You got to be willing to stand and face the fire. You got to be willing to listen to the good and the bad. Because when you throw criticism, hot take into it, there's nothing wrong with you accepting it, bro. but you cannot take it personally. Then when you take it personally, you get online and try to say that y'all are misreading it wrong. And number two, when your boys tell you something it don't hit, listen. Listen. The best advice for any intellectual, if you are intellectual, you know what that means, y'all? That you have the ability to unlearn something. Any information that you learned last year, this year, you have the ability to unlearn it. Because you will know as an intellectual, as you say you are, that means no idea you will stay with. Every idea, every saying, every bit of information that you learn today could change with new information. I love this quote. Shout out to my one of the followers I had for me. You don't dislike politics. You dislike politics you disagree with. Even though I disagree with what you said, how you said it, what the message was intended to be. Right now, what did you learn from this incident? What I learned from this, Little Russell don't like criticism. What I learned from it is that Little Russell has to be right. That Little Russell will go against his instinct, even though somebody said, bro, this ain't it. You still do it anyway. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it fails. Now, this times it fails. Will you continue to be the same way moving forward? Or will you continue to listen to your team that has the best interest in you? As a man, I see nothing wrong with failing, y'all. Messing up, falling on your face, falling, all of that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. The only time it becomes a problem if you continue to fall the same way. But Little Russell, take this lesson, learn this lesson, and be the man that you claim you are. You claim to be the independent, innovative guy. You claim to be the brother that is willing to be talked about to have these harsh conversations. You claim to be the brother that stands on business no matter 24/7, 365, not afraid to have a conversation. Now you got to show it. Nobody gives a damn about what you did, what records you broke, how many artists, how many albums you produced. We don't care. From now on, Lil Russell, what we care about is how you move, baby. And how you move going forward will tell us everything. And the reason why I like to bring this to your attention, y'all, because when people move, when they don't think people will pay attention and watch, you can learn a lot from them. And this next story is about the lady that brought and was the CEO of the Uncle Nearest brand. If you do not know who Uncle Nearest was, he was the founder, the producer of the Jim Breen alcohol and distillery in Tennessee when they stole the recipe from him, like they're doing throughout history. But the lady in that video where she dismissed her former classmate, more of a person's character breaks down. I'm going to show this content creator and what she said before I give my opinion on the story. Share that live.
I'm not a lawyer, but I read through the...
If you want to be happier as an entrepreneur...
Sorry about that.
I'm not a lawyer, but I read through the filings for Uncle Nearest. So let me tell you what's going on, because there's a lot. Okay. So on Tuesday, March 17th, Fawn Weaver, the founder and CEO of Uncle Nearest, posted a social media video saying the receivership for the company had ended, that she and her team had filed for bankruptcy, and that reorganization for the company had begun.
As of moments ago, the receivership of Uncle Nearest.
I don't know about y'all. When I meet overly professional Black Americans, and I don't know her ethnicity, I'm assuming she is, or Black people, I always notice they have a certain energy about them. I'm a Black professional. But when I meet you trying to over-assimilate, I always feel like something's there. You follow what I'm saying? Like when you make too conscious of an effort, when you try too hard, unless it's being natural, what I believe that she did, you can tell she tries hard. But the story around her and what she did just comes across as so sketchy.
Is done. If you've been reading the headlines lately, you probably thought that wasn't possible, but rest assured it always was, and it is. This morning, I approved the filing of Chapter 11 to reorganize our debt to protect our team members, all Uncle Nearest creditors, not just one, and our shareholders. That filing immediately stayed the earlier lawsuit.
Now, one day after that video was posted, Philip G. Young Jr., who is the court-appointed receiver over the company, filed an expedited motion for sanctions. In layman's terms, he asked the judge to fine Fawn Weaver for filing for bankruptcy, and he asked him to do it quickly. And Philip Young based his...
Now, I want you to catch what she just said. a gentleman caught what she said online. She didn't let the people know in the case with. She said this statement online. He was notified that she did something that was above reproach, as they say.
His motion and this request off of the receivership order that the Judge Ashley, put in place back in August of 2025. At the time of the order, the judge ruled that the receiver was exclusively vested with all the powers the CEO, board members, and managers of the company used to have. The order went on to say that the previous leadership team were enjoined or ordered to not interfere in any way, aka the receiver's the boss and the only boss. However, on March 17, 2026, Fawn Weaver filed bankruptcy petitions for Uncle Nearest, Nearest Green Distillery, and Uncle Nearest Real Estate Holdings.
That is so scammy to me. Y'all follow what I'm saying? You're online making a petition, then you're going on the back end, filing that you're filing for bankruptcy on all these type of things, reorganizing your structure. It just seems like weird. I'm gonna let it keep playing.
Philip Young says he asked Fawn Weavers, through her attorneys, to withdraw the bankruptcy petitions, and he reminded them that Fawn doesn't have the legal authority to file any bankruptcy petitions, but they told him no. Philip Young also notes that Fawn's social media video and what he's calling her media blitz caused everyone he's dealing with to be confused. He says he received dozens of emails, phone calls, and text messages of people asking what's going on. And so based on all of that, Philip Young is asking the judge to fine Fawn Weaver $25,000 per filing.
Wow. So she really must have did something that was pretty sketchy, y'all. Think about this for a second. The counsel that is going into the proceedings with her spoke up and said about her inaccuracy and how she went about these things. She got online and made a petition and a video before she even discussed it with prior counsel. She already got it. It's just crazy, man. I agree. It is very weird. It's already in the comments, Mike. So that's what I said about it. I don't really know how to say it or what to think or how to feel about it. It just feels strange.
And since she filed for the three companies, he's asking her to be fined $75,000. And while he's waiting on all of that, he says he's working with the bankruptcy court to have the petitions dismissed. So all of that was on Tuesday, the 17th. And then today, the 19th, there was a hearing in the bankruptcy case. Philip Young argued to bankruptcy judge Suzanne Bonat that the bankruptcy filings should be dismissed because Fawn doesn't have the legal authority to file them. But Fawn and her team argued to the judge that while they know the receiver does have full power over the company, there's a specific section about bankruptcy in the receivership order, and it does say the receiver can file for bankruptcy on behalf of the company, but it doesn't say that he's the only one who can file. They point out that the exclusive language that was listed in the power section of the order is not listed in the bankruptcy section of the order. And so it's their belief that they have the right to file. Now, after hearing both sides, Judge...
I just think it's weird, man. I really do, to hear that and to hear... I agree that she may be fine, but to me, thank you, always, I'm going to give y'all real. I don't think that she's not fine. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is I'm noticing there's a lot of weird stuff happening around her. Could we say that? Remember, that video was very enlightening to what type of person she is. Y'all follow me? The video, how she moved, what she talked about, when it all happened, when it was kind of a slight hand of being disrespectful. To me, it was very eye-opening. It was eye-opening to see, to experience, and to feel that thing in real time. It really was, man. And to learn how to process it in that moment, it kind of caught me off guard. I ain't gonna hold you. I really can't hold you, but I'm gonna let it keep playing.
Suzanne ruled that Fawn Weaver had no authority to file for bankruptcy, and so she dismissed the filings. So that addresses the bankruptcy part, but there's still the motion for sanctions that was filed in the district court. And so right after that hearing, the docket was updated with a filing from Fawn and her team responding to Philip Young's motion for sanctions. And in their response, they again argue that it's their belief that Fawn can file for bankruptcy on behalf of the company because the order doesn't say she can't. And they back up what they're saying with some case law. Apparently, in 2024, another Tennessee company, completely unrelated to Uncle Nearest, had a receiver appointed over their company. Despite that appointment, their leadership team moved forward with filing for bankruptcy. The receiver over the company tried to stop it, but the bankruptcy judge in that case ruled that the general rule under Tennessee law is that the appointment of a receiver does not strip the management.
And all of that is showing y'all that she is trying to use the law to benefit her. it was very white. Not very white, you stupid. But I think what the ultimate message was behind it, y'all, is when we saw Miss Weaver get on court and say those type of things. And let's not forget, y'all, she was very disrespectful to the guy that she was with. Remember when a brother came to her in those type of events and tried to approach her when he was unclear about who she was or her actions or how she felt? Those moments right there beam a lot into a person's character, y'all. I know a lot of times we don't pay attention to that stuff. We don't think it's as serious, but to me, I always think it is serious. I think whenever somebody shows you immediately how they respond or treat people that can't do nothing for them, you got to pay attention to that type of stuff, bro. And I don't think it's nothing to be guaranteed or off on. I get. What's good, Mike? What it do?
Dude.
No, man, good, brother. I just watched the video from the Uncle Nearest case, Mike, where she pulling that shady crap like I told you, man. I know you was watching it, man. What's your take on it, brother? As she was filing the lawsuit, filing bankruptcy in a different court and getting a different judge, like, bruh.
Sound like a lot of shucking and jiving because your business won't right. We as black folks, right? And this goes back to a couple months back. We had the conversation on her treating that man some type of way who went to high school with her, and she tried to play him to the left. Remember we was talking about this, and remember I said it's gonna come back full circle, right? Chicks have come home to roost. So okay, it is a passion of mine to be teach entrepreneurship and make sure people understand business, right? You are filing different bankruptcy chapter 11s or whatever have you, using different judges, going to different courts and doing things of that nature, shows me that your business skills and your business etiquette is not right, and you are not handling business in the proper or legal manner. Because all these things are red flags, right? It was a red flag where you would, instead of taking somebody in that said, "Hey, remember you," and you could have just said, "Oh my God, good to see you again," and kept it moving. You played them, right? But that goes to show that the people that are supporting you are seeing a false mask on your face, like you're presenting yourself one way and not handling real business. Us as black folks, when we amass success, have to do things the right way, or we will forever be embarrassed in the courthouse. Stop cutting corners. Stop doing things slick. Do it the right way. Slow and smooth. Slow, smooth is quick, right? Don't rush to do anything. Do things slow and smooth, cause steady is ready, right? And do your research. Don't just blindly do things. And I think a lot of us have entrepreneur spirits, and we want to do things, but we fail to do things the right way. And then we're looking at that.
I 100% agree with you, fam. And I think it just goes to what we see right now, y'all, because I'm going to show y'all a picture on how much the world has changed. In 1990, the average median home was $96,000. Mike, the average median income was $31,000. The price to buy a home for a down payment typically was $8,000. Mike, it took you 3 years to save that. And the average home buyer was the age of 30. Forward to 2025, y'all. The average home is $418,000. The median household income required, let's keep cooking, is $85,000, Mike. The net income, which means debt to income ratio, will be 4.9, Mike. And the typical down payment required in 2025 was almost 40 racks, Mike. Jesus Christ. And the typical down payment, Mike, takes 9.7 years, Mike. And the home ownership bubble to buy a home, new age, is 40, Mike. Seeing these astronomical numbers, Mike, in the state of the economy we are at right now, what's your thoughts, fam?
I think we're gonna go to a situation where we're gonna have way more renters than owners if we're not already in that situation now. I feel that the way that the economic social status is going in America is gonna continue to trend down in a downward pattern due to the fact we're at war. Things cost more at war. Even though they have not outright said, "Hey, we at war," right? Peace and love, brother. Peace and love. But so if you haven't noticed, your gas is almost $4. If you haven't noticed, on the West Coast, your gas is almost $8, and it will continue to rise, right? So you have to think about everything trickles down. housing market is gonna go up. It's right now is a seller's market. So people who are trying to buy a home are going to be not taken advantage of in the state, but they are not going to be able to. They're going to be at a disadvantage when they're buying, and that's just what it is. And if those of you are waiting to buy a home for the market to get better, this is probably the lowest it's ever going to be in our time. It's not gonna. It's never gonna go back to what it used to be. It's impossible. Things cost way too much. Go to the grocery
Well,
store and see how.
well, I
Right.
think for me, Mike, the one question I have for everybody, and this is just for us in our generation, y'all, on down. Why do we allow private investment companies who have no bearing but to make profit for themselves, Mike, into real estate? Think about that, Mike. The whole benefit of that private equity is to make money. It's not to help. It's not to assist. So it's always strange to me that it's allowed, Mike, for something like that to infiltrate. This is the word that we're going over tonight. A housing, a food. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Like, I'm not saying you can't make your money, but to say my job is to make profit and maximize it off as citizens and people that need that, it's a product of failure. That's the true crime we have right now, Mike, is that we have allowed too many big corporations to run astray.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it is time to make sure that we reel that in, Mike, because the real numbers, y'all, I want y'all to see a video, Mike, and we're going to talk about it, Mike. In 2026, y'all, 87,000 foreclosures have always happened, Mike. 87,000. Pay attention.
I have bad economic news for you, and then I have worse economics for you. I did a post last month reporting January 2026 home foreclosure numbers, and the articles labeled them as a, quote, foreclosure bloodbath, end quote, and said that home foreclosures in the United States were going to get worse. Well, today is March 14th, 2026, and I have February home foreclosure numbers. Hi, my name's Christina. I have a master's degree in business. And if you find this post sad but informative, please like, comment, follow, and share. It is extremely important that you know what is going on in the U.S. economy because it does affect you personally. In January, it was over 42,000 homes that were foreclosed on, which is the highest it had been in years. February 2026, 40,534 properties were foreclosed on in the United States in 2026. The top two states are Nevada and Delaware. Florida is also in a top foreclosure area. That is over 92,000 homes closed just in 2 months in 2026. If you think, that doesn't sound so bad, or Biden did it. No, foreclosures are people who couldn't pay 120 days. That means it's a Trump issue. It also means it's because people have lost their jobs, they're underemployed, or they're 1 in 4 people that have been unemployed for 27 weeks or longer. Expect every single month to have high home foreclosure rates. This is a direct sign of an economy collapsing. These were before.
Mike, hearing those astronomical numbers, we know about the job rates. We know about over 500,000 Black men that have lost their job, Mike, in 2026 alone. How crazy is it in these streets right now, brother? Mike is on a different coast than I, y'all. So I'm on the south. Mike is on the eastern coast. What do you see in those streets, family?
It's absolutely, positively pandemonium, and me and you have been raising the red flag about the economy and with people understanding, researching it. Yo, what's up, boy? Peace and love. But we've been raising the red flag and the alarms about this. The economic structure as we know it is two things that's going to happen. Either you're going to get with the program of what the new program is going to be, and you're going to make sure that you capitalize on these sales trades and investments that are about to happen. Because even though in a collapse, it will be a boom and a gain, and it'll be grassroots investments. So you need to jump on that, right? But it's we've seen this before. So with economics in history, right, it's an ebb and a flow. However, I don't think we're going to bounce back from this at all. I think we're at a point where things. But if you're tracking the dollar's worth, right, the dollar's worth is going down the tank real fast. And it'll probably even further down the tank with this war we're about to go in. Now, war does make money, but Donald Trump is doing a lot of unconventional things. And he has to, because the system as we know it, the economic systems, the social system, all these things are breaking apart that the United States was a part of with all these countries. So we're doing rogue things. And it's kind of genius in what he's doing because he's being unpredictable, right? And predictable factions are weaknesses at this point. We're losing. The dollar's not going to be worth anything. Crypto is probably, I'm not a crypto expert at all, but crypto is a fickle beast, but that's something we need to look into. But they're going to install, and this is not conspiracy, truth. They're going to install a new currency. Watch what I tell you. The dollar is going to collapse. So please invest in silver, gold, and things that are material and real. At this point, get gold bucks, gold backs, a thin sheet of gold. An ounce of gold is $4,000, but if you compound a bunch of little small pieces, you can get an ounce, right? You need to put money into things like day trading and things of this nature to combat yourself from falling into the economic bust. My bad, I'm right.
No, man, you good. I think the one thing that hit it to me, Mike, is differently. You know, Mike takes a different approach. Is that the one thing that is shocking to me, Mike, nobody's talking about, is that where are these people going to happen once these mortgage rates go? If you get put out your house, Mike, that means we're going to have multiple generation family households. Are we going to have to really push PON that we got a couple up? Are we really going to push those initiatives? Because right now we are seeing over and over that the way we're moving and operating is not working. So what are we going to change? Are we going to change the college? Are we going to change the housing? Something has to start ASAP to get those effects and causes that Mike is saying. And as nobody wants to talk about it, there's only a couple solutions we could do. So all these problems are not going anywhere, y'all. And it's scary. Like Mike said, I 1,000% agree with you, Mike. It's scary. It's a troubling time. Nobody told me, Mike, getting out of college, we would see what we're seeing right now going on today. But as we see what we see, we have to be informing the people. Mike has mentioned gold backs. I'm going to always go a different route. Mike is the financial music guy. Me, I'm going to say, hey, y'all, you need a person to partner up with. If you need a throuple, a poly, whatever it works for you, figure it out. Because at the end of the day, you need somebody to bust down the rent, bust it down, Mike. Bust the rent down, bust the mortgage down. Whatever you have to do to make it work, I believe we're in that point of parameter right now. I'm not going to tell you, go the same route you're going to get. These jobs ain't paying. These hiring freezes are not happening, and the market will be like this for a while. Your spending habits, your changing habits, your going out habits all have to change. That's it, Mike. That's my main thing. And what else we see changing right now, Mike? I don't know if you saw all this news. I'm gonna go ahead and let my people know, y'all. Every time, Mike, you know, we hear somebody speak, we always hear people demonize Dr. King, Mike. But did you know Cesar Chavez was wilding like this in these streets? Let me let it play.
1966 and Delano.
Well, I don't really like to revisit that. You know what I mean? I can just say that it was something unexpected, you know, that, you know, he said, we have to talk. I thought we were going to a meeting or something, you know, and no, it wasn't. He had other intentions, so.
You said you were surprised at the brutality of it?
Well, I believe that when you do these kinds of actions against women, it is a violence, you know, and I think these are brutal acts, you know.
It had happened before in a hotel room. What do you remember about that?
Again, I don't really like to revisit that, you know. I prefer not to have to go through that.
If you do not know the backstory, y'all, I'm sorry, then presented Cesar Chavez. We know we learned him in history. He is getting Me Too'd from the grave. Right now, we have people, yes, Mike, women are coming out, speaking out, saying he did this, he did that. The man been dead for 33 years. His legacy, his civil, go ahead.
Hey, cuz, I think we should draw a line. Like, this may have happened, and if it's 33 years after the person has died,
let's let it play, Mike. We got to cook.
Again, you know, but again, it was uninvited, unexpected. You know.
It pains me to have to ask you this, but did Cesar Chavez rape you?
What one could, how shall I put it? You can name it what you name.
We're not going to touch that word, Mike. We're going to let it keep playing.
Name it, whatever, you know. But I think when you are forced into a situation of unwanted sex or whatever, that I think you could, you know, you could consider it rape.
And you didn't tell anyone. Why
No.
not? Why not?
I'm going to let it go from here, Mike, because that word going to get us flack. Mike, seeing that video, and like you saying, victims of a crime that happened this later in life, man, your thoughts, dog. Sexual assault is the word, Mike. Man.
First of all, it's mixed views, right? It's mixed views. I think after a person has passed away, and you know, I'm not blaming the victim or anything like that. But everybody has their own way of dealing with what they had to deal with. I just got questions like, why now? You know what I'm saying? Like, why the man been dead 33 years? Like, did you finally get the comfortability from the treatment that you were getting to come out and say this? Like, I really want to understand, like, why now? Why not before? Why not when the person was living? Like, 33 years after someone's death is a long time.
It reminds me of what they did to Bill Cosby when he was still living. Mike, keep cooking. I'm listening. People rocking with the chat on this one, Mike.
Hey, bro, and I'm not victim. I'm not victim blaming or any of those things, because what happened to her was real, and we have to dissect that. I also just want to dissect like timing, bro. Like, that man is not here to defend himself at all. So like in situations like this, reputation, legacy, you know, like if this person really did this, we need to figure it out. However, what if this is a situation where it's like this person didn't do this, but they're not here to defend themselves? So like, you get what I'm saying? And even when people are alive, it's a tricky situation, because then you have to prove and show. And sometimes we have been in these situations where this never happened before, and nobody, you get what I'm saying? We see it play affected. This person could be affected, like their estate, their family, like is more affected about this, like after 33 years of them being passed away.
I think for me, Mike, I'm gonna take a different angle from it, man. My dog, Mike, you bring up a great point. Mike bring up something I'm not even gonna touch that one. To me, Mike, I want to touch on this. As much smut as we put on Dr. King, Malcolm X, and all of our fallen icons' legacy, ain't none of them have a scandal. We've been here for 20 years. Dr. King was allegedly cheating, which he wasn't, Mike. He ain't come out here, Mike. Cesar Chavez had 4 other married women, 4 babies on the side, and was married to his wife with 8 kids. Mike, we got to remember this too. Their movement was going along the civil rights movement. Historical context matters, Mike. Their movement was going across the civil rights movement, attempting to dilute what we were worried about, Mike. Think about that, Mike. Why would you have a movement at the same time speaking on a separate issue, trying to get rights for farmers? How come, like Mike said, right now his legacy is getting tarnished, but we hear every day about Dr. King cheating? We hearing all the time about our Black Panther Party hitting people. Not saying if they did or didn't, Mike, but what I'm saying is that the masking, the double disrespect of things we hear going around actively about our leaders, when we know it, digging through the crates, Mike, you found this out that quick. But I can't get on TikTok, Mike, online or anywhere and not see our leaders get disrespected on a regular basis. But what this was, Mike, this was a chess move to the Latinos. Latinos, who are the civil rights icons you have now? That was a move to show you, if you don't do what we say, we will humble you. Mike, who can they lean on now? Anybody that talks activism will be of our community. Right now, Mike Chavez was the guy. Mike, they removed his name. They taken away his day. That was a chess move. He's officially blacklisted forever. When you Google his name, SA will pop up now. So I personally think, Mike, it was a political move in a way, allegedly.
Get the point I'm making, bro. Like, what's up? He can't even defend himself. So now,
Mike,
he did it. Even if he didn't, but he did it. It's how.
Well, Mike, we got to understand something. We talk about race politics in this country. The path you choose to take, you got to deal with it. And Mike, he obviously was cutting up, Mike. I'm going to say it again, Mike. I'm not saying he did it. But if you read the article, which it was too graphic to read, Mike, that's why I played the video. What are you doing with a 12-year-old y'all going on camping trips? Allegedly.
Oh, yeah, you tripping.
What are you doing allegedly calling a house with somebody else on the phone and you asking to speak to the daughter? He was wilding, Mike. So there was some sketchy things about his behavior. Like you said, Mike, we can't answer to a 30-something years old. But I want to take this spin on it. Like I'm going to keep saying, Mike, we hear all the time what the Black Panthers weren't doing. Mike, I know you know what I'm talking about. Every platform you allowed to go on, I've heard multiple times Dr. Martin Luther King was allegedly cheating, Mike. Remember that? People have said that publicly. That wasn't true. This is the first time we ever heard about Cesar Chavez. The first time. And all of this was real life victims. We ain't talking about something we heard rumors. We talking about things where people are actually speaking up on it. I just find that very coincidental. And I will say again, Mike, I really do believe that was a chess move to the Latino class. I do. I believe since it has been a little abruption about what you think politics is supposed to be, I think the flag waving and the white Americans not liking that. They say, oh, y'all want to play hard? Let's play harder. We see it all the time, Mike.
Facts.
We see it all the time. And it's not meant to be disrespectful, y'all, but y'all got to learn American history. In American history, this is very common. We called it COINTELPRO, Mike. COINTELPRO was nothing but you making up false information in an effort to discredit a people. We see it to this day. We do. But as we continue to cook up on it, Mike, I didn't know if you want to chop something else on that, brother. I ain't want to know if you did. I'm a lighten the mood right now, Mike. If you haven't heard, Mike, your boy, Drizzy, shout out to y'all, Atlanta, New Orleans, man. Let's go, brother. You know I'm going to cook it up. I'm going to cook always, man. Strip him, you stupid. Not strip him. Mike, they saying our boy Drizzy is about to drop, Mike. And Drizzy, allegedly, y'all, shout out to the fam, on his new album, Mike. Can he take a dig at Kendrick? Do you want to hear it? Can he actually do it, Mike? Or must he let it go? Let's let it play. As we heard, as my fellow music guy, can Drake spin the block? What are the expectations for the album? And will he throw shots at Cole? Let me hear it, Dom.
Knowing the artist that we know Drake to be, he will 100% throw a shot at Cole. But if he's smart, leave it alone, bro. Like, just rap. Just it's done, right? But like they said, you saying Iceman is the name of the album, you have to be coming with some cold ass shit. And theoretically you have to come in Kendrick. You have to, have to, have to. I don't recommend it though. Like in my recommendation, I think you should let it live, let it die, let it be what it is, right? Come out with a hard ass classic grown man album. Something that will never be forgotten. Because you
Can
have
it be
to.
hip hop, Mike, or do it got to be a Drake special with the R&B mix in? What do you want to hear bars or do you want to hear hip hop?
I mean, Drake doesn't have bars. He has catchy hooks at best, right? Like he has catchy hooks at best, and it would have to be 100% him, like authentically him, but more mature, hard punchlines, like just classic. Because I'm gonna tell you why. If you do not produce a no skip album after everything that you've been through, your legacy has already took a hit. I don't know if you can afford to take a hit of that magnitude again with the flop.
I think for me, Mike, Drake has to address everything. The good, the
100.
bad, the ugly. But the thing is, Mike, does he have that cultural cachet still to address it without sounding whiny? Because you should address it on the diss record, so you can't throw a slug now. Because if he throws a slug, will Kenny get back in that booth and drop another one quick? Or will Drake just let sleeping dogs lie? And if you throw a slug at Cole, Mike, how would that look?
Whack as fuck. You can't you but I'm gonna tell you, it's a double-edged sword. You got to. The album is called Iceman. If you named your album anything else, maybe not, right? But it's called Iceman, so you gotta be a cold motherfucker. But don't, like, it's whack to come in either one of them. Like to continue to, after you needed to wave the white flag, is not a good move, bro.
So Mike is, let me hear your hot take, Mike. So he got to come in classic. He got to throw a slug, and he has to drop bars. Is that what you're saying, folks?
He 100% has to do all three of those things, bro. Well, I don't see no other way around it. And it has to be album of the year. It has to be. It has to be. You don't agree with that? Like, it has to be high caliber. It cannot be bullshit.
I don't know. I think Drake's legacy right now is complicated. I think it's complicated because I think this is the longest he's been without a banger, Mike. And I do think that Kendrick is known to be this way, so his mystique is still protected. But we ain't seen Drake outside, Mike. We ain't seen no songs, no singles, no movement, no nothing. So I wonder how much he's gonna pop his.
He ain't even been on a feature.
He hasn't been on a feature, Mike.
But my question to you is the Drake cosign feature worth anything now?
I would say no, because Mike, and this is what people argue with me about, Mike. He's aged out, y'all. He's aged out. He unk now, Mike. He ain't young YB. He ain't Cardi. He ain't Rod Wave. He's aged out. I do think, I don't know, can he come out with a mature album though, Mike? Will that work?
Is Drake mature? That's the bigger question. That's the bigger question. And from, historical patterns, he is not. He is not.
So you saying ain't no way around it, Mike. What I'm hearing is you don't feel no way he could come around it.
He has to, bro. Think about everything that he's been through in the last 365 days. Think about how many Grammys Kendrick won off a diss track. Think about everything that has been happening to the statue and the legacy of Drake, right? Now, some will argue that Drake never took that a major hit. Some will argue, right? Because he's still selling out. People still buying his shit. But culturally, which makes more impact than anything, what the people think. Surely, I mean, you always gonna have your fans to pack out your stadium, but like, bro, in the black culture, you look like a bitch.
I think one of the questions I have to ask Mike, he's always been that way. He's never been a street cat, Mike. He ain't from America. Let's keep it funky. He ain't from America, Mike. Yo, daddy from Memphis, but you was raised around your white mama in Toronto. So can we get mad? He's acting. I mean, Pusha T exposed that to me. When you did the
Like I told
blackface
you,
at age 22, Mike, you can't come back from that for me. You did blackface,
you
bro.
can't.
How did you not
Bro,
know that?
he has something super hard, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it gotta slap from one to how many ever is on the album, bro. It gotta slap hard. It gotta had a summer in the chokehold, bro.
Okay. And that's a fair take, Mike. That's an extremely fair take. What else is a fair take, y'all? We're going to switch gears. Shout out to my dog, Mike. There was a feature on the podcast, Mike, coming up. And there was a good conversation, y'all. I want to hear it before we talk about it this week. Take a listen.
Talk about Black men's preferences in dating younger women
Uh-oh.
and how it is affecting the Black community in a Black household.
Talk about it. I feel like, and I'm gonna use myself as an example, right? In my head, not in my head, how I move in the world, I'm cream of the crop.
Right.
I'm a great catch. And I know that, but that's because I'm sure within myself and my community and how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I know the value in myself. But when I get online and I'm popping my shit and I'm talking, I'm having fun with my homegirl and we're successful women, it's men in the comments like, oh, but she's single, she's not married, she don't have no kids. This is why you got to get them when they 22, 23. And it'll be a 40-year-old man saying this. A 40-year-old man I should be the type of woman that he's trying to court. But instead, you're like, this is used baggage. She's used. She's dirt. Let me go get a 22-year-old.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
Mike, I guess this conversation is a bit uncomfortable. I do believe in let me start it off. In our generation, the single biggest fallacy, and I believe she our age, Mike, that we have not taught is mate selection. Relationship muscles, personal skill sets, and what you do as far as a career does not translate and cross over. Why do we, I guess for me, Mike, why is it difficult for some people to understand that? I would like to ask you that first question.
It's difficult for people to understand mate selection because people don't understand that marriage is a business, right? They don't. Love can carry you only a certain. Sorry, I ain't realized. Love can carry you only a certain amount of distance, right? We all go. You're gonna fall in and out of love with your partner. The thing that's gonna keep y'all together is mindset, discipline, and execution, right? But like, I just think we're losing those aspects. I do. And a lot of people don't understand that. One, you need to, if you're one type of person, you have to have the other type of person to push your weaknesses, right? You need to partner yourself up with somebody that has your weaknesses are their strengths and your strengths are their weaknesses, so that y'all could be equally yoked and aligned and move forward together, right? As a unit, as
Mike,
a
let me
mechanism.
pause you right there. As a spiritual brother, when they use that word equally yoked, can you break that down? Mike gonna break it down for us.
All right, check this out. Equally yoked, and it's very simple. Yoking an oxen or a cow, right? The yoke is the thing that you put around the oxen, cow, or any type of agricultural animal of that nature to do the field. So the yoke is the thing that is around their neck, keeps them straight. If you're not equally low with two horses, right? You say it's two horses, two pieces of cattle. One is crooked, one is they're not centered, they're not aligned together. The harvest that you're trying to harvest or the thing that you're trying to do is not going to be straight. It's going to be crooked and it's not going to work. So that's the standpoint of equally yoked. But you have to be the yin and the yang, right? To your partner. My partner go ahead.
No, I was about to say, Mike, you cooking. I was about to ask the next question. Great response. I think for me, Mike, one thing that I want to hear more of a conversation on, Mike, if everyone is going to be single, living life, auntie, boss bays, who are the children going to marry? As somebody that's producing offspring, Mike is going to be producing offspring. Who are our children going to mate with, pair with? build with if we only push what our gender, black women, black men are talking about, when in actuality, the family component needs to be pushed more. Because I tell all the time, Mike, somebody that's having his first girl, as a young lady, I'm going to teach my girl, my young lady, Mike, that the greatest accomplishment, along with everything else, Mike, is to produce another black family. I'm not saying your degree ain't gonna matter, Mike. I ain't gonna say none of that. It matters, but those are your B goals. Your A goals, as your father, I want you to have a man. I want you to be married. I want you to have children, and I want you to be happy. The professional goals, you're traveling, all that bull jive, that's your BC goals. But your A goal from your daddy, I tell my cousin, my nieces, you need to find someone to go through the process of life with, because I am not going to be here forever. And I want you to have a companion to pair with, compromise with, and figure things out. Why is that so shunned, Mike?
Okay. But I have to break it down in this way, because we got to think about the way that the neighborhood and the community was structured at first, right? And let me break it down. I know this is going to be super detailed and like around the barn to your question of why we think this way, but you have to understand that it derives from when we used to all live in the same area. Our uncles, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody, we lived in the same community, lived in the same neighborhoods. We lived down the street from each other, like how people in the South do, where we might have a whole plot of land and a whole family live up there. That is the community, commune, and unity, right? So they made it sexy to relocate, buy a house into a different subdivision of the community, which, right, nuclear family, because now your auntie and uncle live downtown and you live uptown, and your other auntie and cousins and them live out west, and you know what I'm saying. We're breaking the family apart because individuality. Everybody needs to have their own house. Everybody needs to have their own part of the pie. The difference between us and the immigrants that come to our country is this: they all will stay in commune with each other until they all stand on their own. We don't do that because of the white people or Caucasian people red zoning, rezoning us to, and promoting us to have our own, right? And breaking away from Big Mama's neighborhood and Big Mama's house and things of that nature. That's the answer to your question in a long, drawn out manner.
No, I get it. And I definitely think that's a great answer by my dog. I guess for me, Mike, is that as we continue, because Mike, we're aging. We ain't spring chickens. We're not young. We're in that point of life, Mike. And Mike has been through every point like I have, where family, legacy, and conversation got to be had. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Around this season of life that we're aiming in and walking towards, and this is for the youngins. I guess for me, Mike, the question that keeps coming about is that if nobody's having families, if nobody's getting married, if everybody's traveling, where are the kids gonna come from? You feel what I'm saying, Mike? I always ask that question. What you saying, fam?
Another thing that is killing this is, and there's nothing wrong, but the city girl culture is killing the family. The passport bro culture is killing the family ideology, right? We got people out here, and it's great to be independent, single, and having fun, but eventually being independent, attractive, and single gets old real fast. Like Terrell said, we in dire times where nigga coupling up, you straight or gay, coupling up, nigga.
Mike,
The rent might get
trifle, for Mike 4. I don't, whatever you gotta do. And Mike, I'm not even that point, Mike, where you say whatever relationship you need to make it work. Well, that's between y'all. I'm not telling you if it should be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. I don't care, Mike. But right now, in the times we are in, figure it out.
Yeah, we need to, and you know, we give like people that are not from here a bag on this show a lot, but we got to learn from them too. They all will stay in one house, and the family dynamic is different. They all will stay in one house. They all will pay the bills in that one house, and they all will set up one family member. Boom.
Well, I think for this, Mike, for me, even if it's not one house, Mike, it got to be at least one community. You feel what I'm saying, Mike? Maybe it could be one plot of land. It could be anything. What I'm saying is the way of thinking and the fruits of our labor that we're seeing now, I don't know if it's sustainable, Mike. Like I said, I keep asking everybody, Mike, jobs are at all-time low. We are seeing, and Mike, that girl was a beautiful young lady. Now you in your late 30s saying I'm successful. I'm not saying it doesn't matter because it matters to her, Mike, but everybody wants companionship. And I hate to say it, Mike, and I'm going to ask my dog, is the age gap dating, do we shun it? Is it normal? Or do you want to deal? I mean, as a brother, to me, I want you to be happy, choose what you want. I'm not for the guys bagging on the girl, but I do understand, I guess I don't know, Mike. How does that work?
I don't know, bro, because I've never been really attracted to somebody significantly younger than me at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been attracted to somebody around the same age as me. And it's different because it could be looked at into many different ways. Like, depending on the age gap, it could be predatory. You know what I'm saying? It could be looked at as predatory, and it could be other aspects of the age gap. But love has no age, but at the same time, some of this shit be weird. You know what I'm saying? It's
I ain't disagreeing with you. I ain't disagreeing with you on that.
I will say this too. From what I'm understanding, friends that are in that situation where they're like, we're 37, so like we're close to 40, and they're getting younger women, not less established. And from what I'm hearing, and I'm just quoting, ladies, don't hate me, I'm just quoting, but it is easier to have a manageable relationship with somebody that you're doing just a little bit better than it is to have the 37-year-old with her own shit, got all her degrees and all that going on. From my homies in the street, man, I'm hearing that, it's easier to build with somebody in that nature that like you can teach and develop, and you can build as a couple. But the fellas are feeling like, yes, we do want you to have your own, but don't be independent to a flaw where you don't need anything at all, and you disallow us to be a man.
Well, I think the main thing, which absolutely, Mike, and we got to understand, all of those hard skills do not translate to relationships. Relationships, friendships, Mike, 100% soft skills. That means you have to work on them constantly. That means you have to compromise, settle. You have to figure out, discuss. You have to have uncomfortable conversations. They can only be developed, Mike, as going through it. You can't develop relationships muscles, Mike, traveling. You can't develop relationships muscles dating. Right. No. You develop them by going down the process with somebody. It may end unsuccessfully. It may go on successfully, but that is the only way you will build up the stamina to earn relationships. I think we just keep going against that grain with that, Mike. People act like relationship is not something you can learn in college, Mike. It's not something you can read. You have to be in it with that partner, with that mate, with that person, and then y'all grow along the way. That's the only way, Mike. And I will say something, Mike. There's good and bad to it, y'all. And I'm going to show you the bad, Mike. I hope you sitting down, strap yourself in, y'all. All my fellas, please don't get triggered tonight, but y'all about to. Mike, I hate her sometimes. I really do, y'all. I'm sorry.
So are y'all living together?
It's just this beautiful connection. We will.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Not right now.
But you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why do you say that with such
clarity?
Because that's what it's going to be.
That's where it's headed.
Yeah.
And you both are on that page.
Yeah. And, but right now I really do enjoy my space.
Yeah.
I've been living
alone.
I am my mother's only child.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so having this time that I've had to myself has been fantastic. Mm-hmm. Just to get to know me, even to have my house exactly how I want it. I don't have to be like, well, what color do you want this wall? You know what I mean? I can just do it.
You're the chooser.
I'm the chooser.
You're the chooser.
Right.
So when you imagine your life back together, because I'm sure you've seen it, how does that look to you?
We don't know yet.
You'll build that.
We'll build.
That is I want y'all to think about this something. That is somebody married to a Oscar winner, a multi-millionaire individual who has cheated on him publicly, disrespected him publicly, and now living apart saying, this is the way I want my lifestyle.
Bro,
ladies,
I'm gonna
go ahead.
Be real with you, bro. I think her number one goal is just to embarrass this nigga at every turn, bro. Like, what is you doing? Why are you doing how good you like being apart away from me? And we public figures and we the couple. Why at every turn you putting our business in the street? Cause like, bro, couldn't be me. She ain't on the program and Will Smith don't know it. And ladies,
what
my bad. Go ahead.
No, you good. I was about to say what makes it worse, Mike. It speaks on why mate selection is so pivotal, Mike.
Cause
that's
I
why
put her
it's
in the
so
same
big deal.
Put her in the same category as Aisha Curry, bro. Like, y'all ungrateful out here in these streets. And Jada Pinkett, but I blame Will Smith too, bro. Cause fool me when it's shame on me, but fool me ain't gonna get fooled again, as George Bush said on the J. Cole track. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, why do you keep letting her do this to you, bro? Will, you better than that. You're the prize, Will. You're the prize. She ain't never got over Tupac, and from what I understand, the relationship wasn't even that deep.
Well, I think the one thing for me, Mike, is like you said, you go on a podcast and you speak. You say those type of things and you express yourself. If Will Smith can't get the amount of love that he deserves as being a provider, protector, and someone that is with you, and you have openly disrespected him, if nobody ever teaches you something, ladies, remember, men view respect as love.
Yeah.
Respect is love to us. And she has constantly disrespected Will on multiple levels. And y'all relationship can be what it is, but to be openly being disparaging like she is as a woman, man, you have to worry about the image it portrays, Mike. That's number one. Bro. A lot of young guys that hear that and say, I don't want to be in a relationship then.
Bro,
that's the real problem.
Will Smith soft. Cause bro, why is your shorty not ever on the program, bro? Like, she goes against the grain. Not a good look.
Well, I think Mike, it hurt his higher. Michael B. Jordan how Will Smith was viewed. Let's keep it funky.
He is the new
Will Smith was out Michael B. Mike. Will Smith was out there. Post the slap and the altercation with Chris Rock. I ain't seen Will nowhere. You, Mike?
Nah, bro.
His notoriety, his star power, who he was viewed upon, but who he chose as a mate changed it all.
Bro, I mean, we got to look at history. At every faction, bro, and I'm standing on business on this, at every faction of life, she has chose to embarrass this man, bro. She is not on the program.
I agree, Mike. I think the most heartful thing to me, Mike, is that I am a person that really I values the black families, Mike. I push, you know me, Mike. I always talk about it. It's hard to do it when brothers see that, y'all. If I'm a young guy and I see Will Smith multi-million up, guapped up, Mike, you know what I'm saying? Who else gonna listen? Yikes, facts though.
My thing is this: as a man, you have to command respect a woman. You cannot, and this is not misogynistic at all. But as a man, if you're gonna lead the home, you have to command respect, and you cannot be disrespected as the leader of the home. Will Smith ain't got real friends, bro. Will Smith don't have no real friends, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. If Will Smith had a real friend, somebody be like, "Yo, homie, that ain't it." Terrell, you would never let me be embarrassed like that multiple times.
If anybody's girl embarrassed him like that multiple times, that means she don't love you, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it again, Mike. Unconditional respect is love to a man. You cannot get on here and disparagingly say something. And I don't know if you know something, Mike, and this is just me. I know y'all know I'm a little to openly other ethnic women. They ain't never black women. You know what I'm saying, Mike? It's always other women egging that on, too disgruntled, too disrespected. We're not talking about Joe Blow, boy. We talking about Will Smith. One of our legends, Mike. Will Smith, icons, multiple films, multiple movies. We ain't talking about Joe. We talking about Will, Grammy, Oscar. It's
but
just,
bro, goes back to my conversation. They're not equally yoked. They're not. They yes, they have amassed wealth, but bro, that's not love. That's not stability. That's not submissiveness. That's not anything that we that's not anything that we depict love as, bro. So yes, they amass wealth, but what else? As a couple, not good, bro. But I mean, that's marriage too, though, right? If you really think about it, they've been together for years and years and years, ebbs and flows. But at some point in time, Will Smith, as much as you love this woman, you got to understand it's not a good look to be disrespected in the eye of the public multiple times. I couldn't let it happen. It could not be me. But it's just sad, bro, because like we said, he an icon. And if just had, like, my mom always said it's a time and place for everything. And I feel like Jada Pinkett Smith chooses the wrong time and place deliberately.
who says she not doing it intentionally, Mike? I always see it. I think it's
100%, bro.
intentionally done. I think it's intentionally done, Mike. Go ahead.
What did Will Smith do to deserve that, dog? Like, what did he do? He had to do something, bro.
I agree,
You feel
Mike.
me?
I agree. As we continue to cook tonight, Mike, I got a good question for you, Mike. And it was something that was presented to me last week, Mike. Why do we always demonize black children going to Houston, but when white children go to beaches and fight, it's never the same? Why is that a public sentiment, Mike? I want that as your last conversation piece for the night. Tell me what you think about that, fam.
I think it's sick because, you know, our counterparts have things like the Sturgis Bike Convention where there was historically known
Raven. Don't forget that raves, Mike.
raves. Any act of aggression and violence on our counterpart side is depicted as just good old time and them having fun, and you know, they riot, and after they win a football game, and it's just as jovial, playful behavior. We demonize what we are inferior to a lot of times when we are weaker, and it's a psychological mindset. I have to make you look bad because I know I'm not good enough, or I am not in a position to be better than. So I have to find a way to throw dirt and, you know, shit on. But it's who they are as a culture, bro, to do that.
You think it's that deep with it?
Yeah, it's within.
I agree, fam. I think for me, Mike, whenever I hear people use the word, why is everybody coming to Houston, the STI rate, et cetera, I always notice when black children go to a place to have fun, after leaving Miami, Mike, is viewed as, yeah, Mike, they were talking about STDs, STI. All of it, Mike. But Mike, I want you to know something. Y'all demonize black children to go to Miami. Then they go to Houston where it's more black businesses and they feel respected by the black patrons, and you still disrespect them. What I've noticed that whenever black children go and have fun during their spring break week, is demonized. They say it's criticism, Mike, but what it is, why are you niggas having fun?
Facts.
That's what it is, Mike.
Who told you niggas to have fun?
No matter where they go, Mike, no matter, and to me, Mike, bravo to the black kids for making that power move, Mike, and saying, Miami, y'all want to be racist and put these stipulations? Miami not the spot no more. That was a power move, Mike. Miami put those laws in place, and like we did in the 90s, Mike, with Freaknik. People don't want to think about it like that. Remember, Freaknik went to Atlanta in the 90s, Mike. Houston is revamping it, coming up with its own wave of that. What the people are mad about is that in those other states where they would be a discriminatory practice, disrespectful to our black youth, we chose to move differently. That's the real message behind it. Our black children heard the disrespect. saw the Miami's laws, and decided to move accordingly. But I want to put to everybody out there, do not allow black children to be demonized in front of you. Do not allow them to be overly criticized. Do not allow our young ladies to be putting words and names on them. I'm not saying some criticism can't happen. I understand some criticism does deserve to happen. But I want you to pay attention. It's always labeled on black kids. It's always they're grown, they're promiscuous, yada, 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 like they weren't young, Mike. Like they weren't promiscuous. Like their community doesn't have their issues. But I notice it's a very, very harsh criticism towards black kids. Always.
It's hurtful,
and Mike,
bro.
Go ahead. Cook up.
Hurtful, bro, because when you really think about it, we're not letting people enjoy themselves. They kids get to enjoy themselves and don't have to worry about being pulled over. Don't have to worry about, oh man, let me make sure I don't wear these clothes a certain way, or don't let me make sure I'm not in a certain neighborhood. They have the freedom of actually living and being able to make the mistakes. Our mistakes that we make come with laws, come with arrests, and come with persecution. Their mistakes, oh, they're just learning. They're just a kid. They're having fun. But, bro, we will forever have these growing pains as long as we assimilate to a system that was never built for us.
I agree with you 1,000%, Mike. And I do love the power play. I do love how the children moved. And I want y'all to keep having fun and y'all keep revamping spring break. Do not go where your money is not respected or loved. Miami didn't want to love your money. Don't go to Miami. Virginia Beach don't want to have something in the water. Move it to Norfolk. You feel what I'm saying, Mike? Stop trying to make these people love you. Move accordingly. I even noticed something in the water ain't there no more, Mike. I'm like, man, Pharrell must have heard that it took that personal.
Nah, it was, bro. I feel like being that he got the Louis Vuitton curator contract and that he has also partnered and built his own concert venue, and like it's dope around there. I don't think he needs something in the water no more. Like I think he gave it to his team to continue going on, and they didn't have the same fervor that he had to push it. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, Mike. And shout out to my dog, Mike. Mike.
Hey, yeah.
Get the people your social. Go ahead.
Hey, nah, for all our fans, we're going to be in the same place next weekend. Live on Sunday, going to be live, and we're going to be directly in the same place doing what we do, bro. I'll be in Houston this weekend coming up. I can't wait, yo. I can't wait. We're going to paint the city red for our niece. Baby girl, we're going to celebrate you, and we're going to do our thing, man. Hey, I'm live in the city. We live and direct. You never know. We might be 2-3 pods. Turn up.
Facts on that, Mike. So glad for my dog, Mike. Tell them your socials. Where can they find you at?
Mikey McCall is the Facebook, where McCall at is the IG. I will be live and direct this weekend. Hey, posting everything. So shout out to us, man.
I love it, fam. Go ahead, enjoy your night, my dog Mike on the Eastern Standard Time. Hit me next time, Mike. Peace. My dog Mike got to enjoy it, y'all. As I continue to go, man, before I got a couple more subjects I want to cook up with y'all. Did y'all see the video of the Asian community? Take a listen.
2 hot Asians who were married to each other in Sinners. That hardly ever happens. They were so fine and both actually liked each other. And this means a lot to me, because in a lot of modern media, Bridgerton, Joy Luck Club was written by a Chinese woman. And basically all those girls chose white men. In Everything Everywhere All at Once, we got Evelyn and Waymond, but they were kind of old, and then her daughter chose to be with a white girl. You see what I'm saying? We don't get to see Asian American love. And I know that, like, if you're not Asian, you probably haven't noticed
the numbers. Jesus, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go ahead and finish playing it. Give me one more second. I'm sorry. Let me get back to it.
The numbers of white men have gone.
Give me a second. I'm sorry, y'all.
Ryan Coogler gave us 2 daughter chose to be with a white girl. You see what I'm saying? We don't get to see Asian American love. And I know that, like, if you're not Asian, you probably haven't noticed this, or you don't pay attention. But younger Asians, particularly Asian men, are never seeing themselves as the love interest for Asian women. And that's caused a lot of division in our community. Grace and Bo were fine as hell. Their daughter, Lisa, was hilarious. They all had these smooth Southern accents, no chopsticks in hair, no weirdness toward them from any of the Black characters. They were a fully integrated part of that community. Ryan Coogler hangs around Chinese people, and you can tell. I mean, his wife, Zinzi, has Chinese ancestry through her father. So he used that hookup, and he used it well. Now, the Chows being married to each other, it's such a small part of the movie. There's vampires, there's blues, Sammy and the Smokestack twins are the real main characters. But when Ryan Coogler said, I'm going to include a Chinese family, he made sure to get everything right.
I want y'all to pay attention to the praise that they're giving. Now, I guess my one follow-up question would be, will the same duty and respect be given in the other direction? I do think that brother Ryan Coogler did a phenomenal job, and I love the way that she is centering the way the Asian community is properly represented. But I always ask the follow-up question that needs to be asked. Is the respect, will it be given the same? Because we saw what K-pop did this week. We saw the other disrespectful nature that we saw this week. Will the effort, the energy, the love, the connection, the support, the foundational issues that was given in a proper etiquette, will it be the same? Because if not, all you're doing is giving me lip service. I think the one way we are saying about the gatekeeping culture is that right now, we have a certain level of expectation. We're going to give our love level and service, but we're going to expect the same. We're going to give the love level and praise, but we will expect the same level of effort to be the same. If not, what you're saying will fall on deaf ears. Because I understand what this creator is saying, and I do think she has a point of view that is valid. But we don't want to hear no sweet lies, no soft praise. We want the energy to be the same. We don't want our spaces infiltrated. We want the love, we want the compassion, and we want Black representation in Asian films. We don't want the stereotypes. We want the ownership to be called out when it's disrespectful. We want that energy that we gave you out your mouth, out your words to say how gracefully it was done. I want the same way. And I think that's the whole thing about what the foundation is speaking on. It is speaking about, hey, we have given, demanded, expressed, but the reciprocation has been small. The reciprocation, the love, the energy, the feedback has not been the same. And we have a chart, shout out to my brother Teray that speaks on this. When you look at reports, feedback, what you're looking at is a research study that was done by Gen Z. When you look at the amount of people that say, I always like myself by ethnicity, by name, and by title, you have whites, Blacks, Hispanics, and others. I don't know if y'all ever knew, but as much as the propaganda, the research, the bad press, the psychological differences, the issues, the problems that are highlighted, you cannot break the Black American spirit. Even though all the problems, the distrust, the issues, the economic deprivation that we're going through, Black Americans still have a higher self-conscious of Black pride, Black unity, and Black self-respect in ourselves. Not specifically the foundation of this country. I can't speak to others across the globe because I do believe the colonization of their minds are different. But in this country, at a almost 25% higher rate, our confidence is high. Our love for ourselves is high. I will tell you a story about me, y'all, that I noticed immediately that I had to learn. Going through my experiences in life, and I'm a project baby. I'm proud of it. The one thing I learned immediately when I had conversations with my white friends or people that I met throughout life, you know, the first thing they would always say to me, y'all hug each other a lot. Y'all are around each other a lot. Y'all spend time with each other a lot. Even though y'all don't have nothing, y'all choose to still be around each other. At first, I scratched my head. It didn't register to me, right? I was like, why are you telling me who I spend time with and why is it a lot? Why are you bringing it to my attention like it's something that is not normal? But as you continue to go through the process of life, ladies and gentlemen, the foundational perspective and way of life is different. Other cultures don't have family reunions. Other cultures don't have meetups. They don't have break bread. They don't have story of gilding. They don't have lineage talk. They don't have family conversation. They don't joke each other. They don't love each other. They don't hoke each other. They don't dap up and embrace when they meet. They don't hug each other every time a conversation is happening. We are the main people that push the acknowledgement, the speaking, the conversation, the eye contact, the embracing. That is us. Our culture, especially in American, because we are American culture. Let's keep it funky. Our culture, if you do not know, is love. It's love thyself. It's love where I come from. It's love my upbringing. It's speaking positively about my family, even though something may be not going wrong. It's to pray, to uplift, not disparage them publicly. It's to have a conversation, even though something ain't right. You know our cousins still. But it's to say, hey, cuz I love you, but you can't come in the house. You can still come over and I'm going to feed you. But I might not let you in my house from my people. Hey, cuz I don't like the way you talk to your mama, but I still love you, still my cousin, though. Hey, cuz I might not be able to give you that money right now, but I'm going to give you something. I'll push your car for you, cuz. I'll call you and love you, cuz. We'll have a family reunion where we split up and talk business with each other, cuz. That is the Black American culture. So when we see charts and research like this, it is our job to spread that love era message. Because remember, gatekeeping for us has always been something internal that we had. It was forced upon us due to the Jim Crow era. So gatekeeping for a lot of people can appear as negative. For us, it's a love-bearing thing. Loving our status, loving our style, loving our energy, loving how we present ourselves, loving our culture that we come from, loving how we express ourselves. The love era on how we do anything has always been around. So I always like to say to people early on, y'all, if y'all follow me on TikTok or see what I'm saying, we're engaging. We are. Right. We are. Correct. All my white friends moved away from their families and started new ones. I'm telling you, y'all, I ain't going to lie to you. Think about where we come from. We're very engaging. Like I said, we ain't never had that much, y'all, but we always had love for each other. We always have a level of respect for each other. It's always been there. You know what I mean? That's without a doubt. That's why most cultures and people come from us find us so unique. So when we hear a message right now, y'all, and shout out to Smackwater, y'all know I live in the H, so I love to share H news. There's actually a thing going around right now, y'all, about people not showing love to you. Let me start off with this. People will love and support you if you love and support other people. If the only reason why I gotta love and respect you and honor you is when I gotta do something, you don't deserve it. You gotta show up for people the way you want them to show up for you. I want you to look at your phone right now. Who you text this week? Who you say, I just thinking on you. I miss you. I love you. I appreciate you. Just checking on you, cuz. When the last time have you done that? Before you ask, want, demand, create, expect people to support and love you, I want you to ask yourself, can you name 10 people that you do that to without reciprocation? When I mean support, I mean like, I mean repost, I mean comment, I mean share, I mean check on. To me, I don't even expect that much. But before I say you have to support me, I'm going to show you that I support you. And the reason why that matters so much, y'all, when you have that energy that I'm going to support people outright, your support will be overwhelming. But the problem we have in most metropolitan cities, this is just me talking, people demand something they are not willing to give. You do not give love for free. You do not give love for free. You do not give support for free. You do not respect other people's time for free. You do not show up for other people, and that's why you don't get it in return. Everybody that complains, that whines, that mentions that I don't get love, don't give love. That is what I've learned in my years of experience in living, y'all. The people that cry so much about ain't no love, nobody support me. Don't support nobody. Because if you support people like I do, the amount of love and support you get is overwhelming, y'all. I'm serious. If you support people for free, if you give love for free, if you show up for people for free, you will be surprised how many guys and people support you. Now, this is a video about Houston, Texas politics. Pay attention.
The radio, hey man, we want to hear this. No, we don't want to see Rob 09. No disrespect to any of these names I'm saying. We just speaking on Houston politics. We need our people to get paid, supported, and glorified.
Boom. That was it. That was the key word. Support. Houston, we have a support problem. That's the fucking biggest problem we have in this bitch ass city. Support. Niggas always screaming about support. But when niggas say support, they really be talking about, I want y'all to support me.
And that brother is a Fendi fact. I'm not just going to put it on Houston. I want to say this is a city problem. The city problem we have right now, y'all, and this is just something I've known about city folk. I grew up in the country, y'all. You don't want to support anybody. You don't want to give nobody a shout out. You only want to show up when it's convenient for you. Whenever somebody sends you their schedule, you're magically always booked. You're always prepared. So nobody deserves to support you, bruh. Why should I support you when you don't support no damn body? I'm going to ask you again. Look in your phone right now, and I want you to scroll through it. Tell me the last time you checked on anybody without wanting anything in return. When is the last time you supported anybody not seeking anything in return from that? That is a metropolitan city problem we have. No, I won't support you if you don't support anyone else. No, I won't show love to you if you don't support anyone else. I'm the type of person, y'all, if I see you disrespect somebody else, I won't want to be around you. How you treat that janitor, how you talk to that waitress, how you talk to that homeless person, how you disrespect that person that couldn't do nothing for you. Me, King Crowder, I watch that. I watch, I observe, and I won't support you like that. Yes, I watch how you move. I watch how you treat your baby mama. I watch how you talk to your mama. I watch how you talk to your lady. I watch how you don't be around your children. I know it's comfortable to say nobody judge, they lying. Everybody judges. How you treat the people that cannot do nothing for you, you will be judged harshly on. And I don't expect anything in return. I don't want anything for free. I appreciate that anybody ever does something for me because I know it's a sacrifice for you to do that. But the way you treat other people, I pay attention to it.
No. Support is a two-way street, cake ass nigga. Niggas only want to support what's hot, what's trendy, what everybody else is co-signing, what everybody else is doing. Niggas don't want to support a nigga out here working.
I don't believe that, y'all. I believe we are in the era of supporting the talent and the work that's coming from it. The problem is the people that scream support me ain't putting in no mother bleeping work. They ain't putting in no work. All they do is holler and support me, buy my business. They ain't fixing the customer service. They ain't working on overachieving those issues. They ain't worried about phone etiquette. They ain't worried about cold call selling. They ain't worried about following up and making sure every order is fulfilled with love and a smile. All I ever hear outright is not on the product. What I hear is you support me no matter what. I'ma always show love to the brothers, man. But I show mega love to the brothers that deserve it. Not the ones that champion, not the one on the gram, not the one on the TikTok, not the one on there that's no. You are getting your support based off the product you produce. And I believe that is Houston's number one problem. I'm not saying condemning the whole city because I believe there are some phenomenal people in the H. But as an outsider living here for less than 5 years now, y'all, we have a performance problem. People demand the support without putting in the work to perfect your craft. If you put the work in, lead with your notoriety, lead with your accomplishments, lead with the things that you have done, people will rock with you, man. I'm not from the city. The love I get, y'all, is overwhelming. Why? Being from a small town, I learned early on, son, you got to lead with your accomplishments. My father, hey, son, don't nobody care about what you do. Show the results. Hey, son, make sure you show the love for other people like you expect from you. Hey, son, if you got a meeting, don't ever show up to it late. Show up to it early. How you going to expect somebody to speak your time? Shout out to the brother Reciprocal all day, man. FBA always giving away free for too long. I'm not saying free for too long, brother. I'm saying we will support you if you're good. What I think right now is that people want it now. I'm not saying the people that deserve it. If you deserve it, you're going to get paid, brother. You will get paid if you are good enough. The problem is we're not paying the people that are good enough. That's why the music ain't that good. That's why the food service is not going like it used to be. That's why the quality and the expectations are not how they used to be. It's because everybody wants to get paid without putting in something. And it's not meant to shame everybody, y'all. But what I am doing is literally speaking on what I see, man. I'm speaking on it because we always position ourselves to say, we got to show love to you. And this brother keep breaking it down.
A nigga don't want to support you until you done popped all the way off. Then that's when a nigga want to support. Certain niggas just want to support other certain niggas. Niggas is clicking up and niggas don't like this nigga here because that nigga don't like that nigga there. All this shit is behind who getting money and who driving what or who wearing what or who got their jewelry from where or niggas fucking the same bitches and pillow talking and because to me, ain't none of this shit real beef. All this shit is some motherfucking middle school ass shit.
And what he is speaking about is the arrested development that a lot of us are in. As you age, I'm not saying the same girl conversation ain't gonna come up. I ain't saying this, but I want to give a record straight for my dogs right quick. If that is not your wife, if that is not somebody that you are married to the game with, she's single. Don't get mad because your girl is out here choosing, bruh. Don't get tender. You know what? If that's your old lady, she is completely off limits. But if that ain't nobody you married to that you put it on a pedestal that you was going to be with, you cannot get mad if people are choosing, man. A lot of us weren't raised by our daddy to hear that. If that's your old lady, she is completely off limits. Your side joint, your other joints that you got going on, that's a part of the game, bro. So when a lot of the internal beef and problems come about, we got to understand that's not black culture. We got to understand what's FBA and what's not. So when we are gatekeeping and we're keeping the foot on the pedal to what's working, I want us to gatekeep and hold ourselves accountable on the new things we want to see. As I stated on today's live today, y'all, FBA gatekeeping is working. It's working. We're seeing the fruits of our labor. We are seeing the politics starting to grow. And they don't have to agree with it. They don't have to expect it. They don't even have to respect it, y'all. As long as we start off with respecting ourselves, respecting our movement, respecting our elders, and respecting the things that we have going on, we cannot, we will not, and we cannot be stopped, y'all, man. So as we continue to wind down tonight's live, this Saturday, your boy will be having his official baby shower for another damn crowd of being born. This Saturday in the city, so we're going to have a lot more movement and things going on. Also, the next 2 weeks, if you are in the H, man, I know with my black male organization, I always like to give a shout out. We will be having a mixer. Mixer tickets are officially available on Eventbrite. BMBC, this mixer ticket will be for our community event that will be happening in May in Sunnyside, South Park area. Feed the Block will be the event and initiative that we have coming on next. If you get on Eventbrite and you look up Black Men Building Connections, the tickets are openly available. Our brothers will be having a game night mixer. It's fun. It's what we normally do when we have co-ed events where we get to laugh and joke about it. Those are the 3 major milestones that we got coming up this week that I really want to make sure we're taking advantage of, that the Crowder Gang I want to know what's about. So as we continue to go into for Live on Sunday, man, I want to thank everybody for tapping in with me, watching heavy tonight. I appreciate all of y'all, all my FBA family. I want to thank y'all from the top and the bottom of my heart, man. I could go anywhere in this world, but I could not be nowhere without you. Make sure you share the live, comment, like, subscribe. I want you to know I appreciate you. Hey, like I said this week, 5 people in your family. Did you call them? Did you text them? Did you check on them? Have you called people and gave them something without expecting something in return? That's my lesson for you. Also, book of the week. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Add it to your library, ladies and gentlemen. Add this book a phenomenal read. I definitely think it's a game changer about fear, overcoming it, and how we overthrew our obstacles. Baby shower. Live on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family. I will be booked and busy this week, but I will be responding. Thank everybody that sent the cash apps. Man, I want to tell y'all something, man. I don't be noticing it because I just don't expect it. But if you send something to me, man, I appreciate it. I know how tough this economy is. I don't care how small, how little, man. I'm going to shout all of y'all out on my Wednesday stream. Also, we officially cracked 3K on the sub. Thank you for the people that believed in me and be with me since day one, man. I appreciate it. I love you. I support you. And I won't stop, and will not stop. FBA is gatekeeping is working. The infiltration of our spaces is over, and we are here to break it down. I am your host, King Crowder, back again for another edition of Live on Sunday. I will see you Wednesday on the midweek tap in. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy your work week. Call your friends. Call your family. Comment, like, and share the live. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do it. Oh, the baby shower link will be available to you. I almost forgot. Hold on. If you want to hit that one for support your boy, we having a diaper shower. It is available, y'all. I will post it in the community post, man. If you can get anything for my girl, I love it. Appreciate y'all, man. Until next time, call your family. Check on your loved one. And